Jerusalem I have appointed watchmen. Those are the angels, Dr. Fruchtenbaum says. All day and all night. You know, they don't get a shift off, okay? So they're not people. They will never keep silent. You who remind the Lord, take no rest for yourselves until he establishes, verse 7, and makes Jerusalem a praise. What does Jew mean? Praise. Yada. Yehudi. That's what the word praise means. It's Jew. Jew means praise. They're going to be that praise. That's why if you've ever wondered in Esther 8 where it says, and the people of the land became Jews out of fear for the Jews, you can't become a Jew. I can't wake up Chinese tomorrow, even if I love Chinese food and I'd love to wake up Chinese tomorrow. I can't. You can't become a Jew either. Oh, the Orthodox rabbis will tell you, you can do this and this and this and become one. No, you can't. But it says in the Hebrew, the people of the land became Mitahayadim is the Hebrew. Praisers of God. So they became true believers out of fear of the Jews. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. They didn't become Jews. Can't become a Jew. I can't be Haitian even if I wanted to. And boy, do I love Haitian food. So, no. But they became praisers of God. So they're going to be a praise finally in the earth. Now, I have an Israeli esthetician, and she's not a believer, she's secular, and she said, people are coming to me, my Jewish clients are saying, it's just like the Holocaust. What do I say to them? And what Jewish people say in our book that's coming out next month on the theology of the Holocaust by Barry Leventhal, who's now with the Lord, a great guy. The subtitle of the book is one I recommended. Where was God? Where was God? Where was God? Maybe you've suffered. Maybe you've been abused by somebody in your life. Where was God? Here's the verse for you. Jacques Ebizon loves quoting this. Isaiah 63, verse 9. In all their affliction, he was afflicted. In all their affliction, he was afflicted. He's hurting too. Remember that. So, we need to, yes, pray for safety, but without Jesus, they're not going to heaven. You can clothe and feed a Jew all the way to the gates of hell. Many ministries in Israel do that. No, they need the gospel. They need to meet their Messiah. They need to know the atonement that only comes through blood. It has to be shared with them. And if you want to know how to do that, yes, we have some material on the back table, and I can direct you toward some. This is a comfort card on some verses of God. A great one is called Rising Anti-Semitism in the back. I have a bookmark. If you know Jewish people, only take them, please, because I've limited what I could carry in my suitcase to Alberta. According to the Jewish prophets, who is the most spoken about and least recognized person in the Hebrew Bible? And then there are 9 verses on the back from the Tanakh. So what are we doing in Montreal? We do door to door. Now, could we do that during COVID? You knock on their door, you're going to kill me. We couldn't do that during COVID. So we went to shopping centers that had a grocery store with a big kosher section. Now, you try and identify who's Jewish behind a mask. Good luck. But we tried. And what do we do? Let's see here. Okay. So we'll pretend this is the Tanakh, because just like Luell has Bibles, and you have one too, I hear, in Hebrew and English, or Hebrew and French, or Hebrew and Polish, or Hebrew and Russian, we have them all. I say, hello. Knock on the door. We have now we can go to the doors. I am a volunteer with the Society for the Distribution of Hebrew Scriptures, and I have a free Tanakh, bound Tanakh in Hebrew and English to offer you to bless you in your home. And are you interested in the end of anti? Oh, I know about anti-Semitism. I said, what about the end of anti-Semitism? Did you say the end? I said, yeah. Okay. When will it end? Let's look at that. Well, do you believe in Mashiach? Oh, yes, I believe in Mashiach. Well, how will you recognize him? Well, I have placed this in a very important chapter in in your Tanakh in Isaiah 53, and I invite you to read the 12 verses, and it'll tell you who Mashiach is. And then I pull out my secret weapon from underneath, and I say, I have another book, it's smaller, it's a Jewish book of Second Temple literature. And it has many messianic prophecies fulfilled. And it's in Hebrew and English too. And you can read, in fact, the first book has 92 quotes from just the first book. You could probably, there you go. That's exactly what we use. So this is my secret weapon underneath, you know. And so I say, yeah. And this has, this is in Hebrew and English, and you can look at, the messianic prophecies that are fulfilled in there. And now, when I was growing up, my generation was taught in the synagogue, any place your hand touches a New Testament, it will burn. So you try and hand them one, see what happens. So on an outing of maybe 2 hours, let's say, if we gave out 2 sets, we call this a set, we'd get excited if we gave out 2 sets, 3 sets. Let me tell you, people, for the last year and a half, we went to the fastest growing Jewish neighborhood in North America. It's called Dollar des Ormeaux. It's right next to where I live. And we have been giving out 10, 12 sets a night. This is absolutely historic, unprecedented, never seen before. We only had printing presses for 500-700 years. Jewish people would not touch this thing. And now they're taking it. And I will look at them and I'll say, it's called the Brit Hadashah. It is the New Testament. And I look at them straight in the eyes and I kind of quiver inside and I wait. And they go, but that's a Christian Bible. And I go, it's so Jewish you wouldn't believe it. And I say, they're all, it's such a Jewish flavor, and they're all written by Jewish men, all the books in there. Just look at that first one. The first one, it's so Jewish. Just, you can read the first one. Could I really? I said, I give you permission. It's okay. And they are taking them. And when I would get back to my director's home afterwards, he and his wife and I would look at each other. I've been a believer 48 years, Jacques 47 years, Sharon maybe 40 years, and we go, we've never seen this before. Now remember I told you there was a synagogue firebombed? It was in that neighborhood. And what did we just finish? In the last year and a half, we finished every Jewish door with a mezuzah on the door in that neighborhood, and then this happened. I don't believe in quinky-dinks, and coincidence. No, this was God. And we are going out and giving out the scriptures. We've given out probably 8,000 sets in Montreal. Why is Montreal very important? You've got North America, Central America, South America. In all of that, there's only one city, and you get to guess, where most of the Jewish people, let's say in this room here, most of you are seated on this side, few people on this side. Most of the Jewish people in Montreal are Orthodox or ultra-Orthodox or things you've never heard of, okay? That is Montreal, and it's the only city in all those Americas. Only one. So if you just meet a random Jew on the street, chances are they are Orthodox. And they are accepting Bibles at rates we have never, ever, ever, ever seen, I am convinced, in history. Is there a sign before the rapture? I don't want to hear anybody say yes. There is none. Are there signs to the end times? Yes. I beg you to pray for this ministry. It is so important. People are listening now. I'll give you another good piece of news. Because October 7th, I went to congregation. And, we were all totally destroyed, it seemed. But when you use Google, do you go to a page in Russian? You do it in English. Okay. In Quebec, they will go to a Google page in French, and they'll type in their search in French. So who is going to go to a Google page in Hebrew? Jews. Nobody else. Well, in the last few years, now how many Jews are there? Anybody remember? 15 million. There have been about 4 million searches on a Hebrew Google page for Yeshua. They're looking for Jesus. And we need to pray that they find him now as hostages in Gaza. That they remember who they searched for. May they search for him with all their heart, because they will find him. And pray for Palestinians. I don't like to use the term, but yes, they also need to search for Yeshua. So, I travel North America. I speak like I'm doing today. I tell you about the ministry. This brochure will tell you about it. If you'd like to pray for me, this is about the biggest prayer card I have, so that's it. If you'd like to listen to terrific messianic messages, well thought through and researched, they're 40 minutes long. You can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, Here's this information. I do not receive a salary from anywhere. I'm not paid by anybody to do what I do. When I became a believer at age 17, I said, oh God, I'm going to lose it all. But it's okay, because it's the truth. And as long as I have the truth, doesn't matter. None of my family's going to believe. Well, my parents are in heaven. You will meet them. Nobody else has. But I am looking for partners who will help support me. I have an aging support base, and I need new partners. And if the Lord would put it on your heart to support me regularly, I would request that. You can take this brochure, you can tear off the coupon, you can do it online, you can send it in the mail because you've got an envelope with it, and you can give a gift to help keep me going. I don't pay, nobody usually pays for my plane tickets or anything else. So if the Lord puts it on your heart, we will send you a receipt in February. There's a little blue box on the table there. You can put your gift in there, and we will send you a receipt if you fill out your name on the envelope, or you can mail it in later, and on the address on the back. Do check us out online. We have a lot to offer you. We have stuff in Russian and Spanish. And so anyway, this is the envelope in your brochure. And there's a place on the little coupon where it says Jackie F for Jackie Fierman. So just do mark that, because otherwise it will go to the general fund, which is fine. We have a lot of radio shows, and we have, an Orthodox person cannot have a cell phone. They can't have the internet, but they can have the radio. And guess what station we're on in Montreal? Radio Shalom. We're on in another station as well, but yeah. And has anybody ever heard of Juarez, Mexico? Juarez? Drug cartels? Violence? Juarez? Sorry. Lost my Spanish when I learned Creole, and then I learned French, so, we're broadcast in Juarez in Spanish. Anyway. So that's it. I don't know if there's time for questions, but Luel, this is your rodeo, so you let me know. Okay, questions. Hopefully I kept you all awake, and if you need to stand up, please do. I get it. Anybody has a question or want to know something more about the ministry? We are all around the world. Like I told you, we're in Liberia and China and India, and not South Korea yet, but anyway, a lot of different places. Hungary, Germany, England, Israel, New Zealand, Australia. Okay, I'll stop. Thank you. I was running out of countries, so go, yeah. Two-part question.